Hello, I Martinez. My name is Itzell, and I'll be having my next giveaway when I reach 500 subscribers. I will have questions during the live, and when I reach 450, I'll do the questions again in a premiere. Right now, let's see what palettes are up for grabs this go round. So be sure to share me out to help me get there. Be sure to give the video a thumbs up if you like it. Good morning, everyone. I Martinez. My name is Itzell, and it's Favorites Fridays. It's episode 21. If you remember, we're gonna do things differently. We're gonna spin the wheel. I know we're not talking to Siri anymore. Siri didn't always cooperate either, so we shall see. I don't know what it's gonna land on, so let's spin and let's see. Are you serious? It's Bleach. I'm so excited. I love Bleach. Well, duh. We're talking about my favorite shows. We're chatting about my favorite shows. Why wouldn't I love Bleach? So, if you don't know, Bleach is an anime, and guess what? The continuation is going on right now. So, if you watched Bleach all the way through, you got through the Fullbringer arc, and you're like, I want more. Well, more is coming out. So, and I know they changed the way it looks and all that, but it looks amazing. They went big. They should have went big because it was in the works and they were talking about it like since like 2019, 2020. 2020 set everything back, and then the strike and all of that with the actors. So we're finally getting it. It's been a long time coming. So if you don't know, like I said, Bleach is an anime. It came out in the early 2000s and very mainstream, very big. So it centers around Ichigo Kurosaki, who's a substitute Soul Reaper. We're like, well, what's that? Okay, a Soul Reaper. They live in a different area, like essentially like heaven, but not quite. Like it's where you go when you pass on. That's where they live. Um, and Soul Reapers, they're soldiers, and they're meant to basically like keep the peace, and they help souls pass on. Um, you know, they find them and they hit them with their sword, and they helps them move on. But then there's these evil spirits that are called hollows. You turn into one. It seems like based on your emotions, like if you have a lot of despair and different things, you turn into a hollow, and they eat the good souls. So they they battle them, and then when they like beat them, um they send them back to Huecamundo, where it's where they're from, and Huecamundo, it translates like because it's in Spanish to Hollow World. Makes sense. Um, so yeah. And then I've only ever seen one time where a spirit was so bad they essentially went to hell. Yeah, because I guess that does happen. It's just rare. Like I've only seen it in the beginning of Bleach and never again. So yeah. Anyways, that's a little bit about Soul Reapers, and everyone has their own agenda, and we don't really know how long they live. Um, the the top captain, the head captain, he is at least 1,000 years old, but they don't ever give anybody's age. Um, so I believe Rukia is like over 100 years old. I don't know her age either because um she and her friend weren't able to talk for like 60 years. So yeah, it's just a little crazy how long their lives are. They look like teenagers or young adults. So it's pretty crazy. Anyways, so it starts off with Ichigo and Rukia. So Ichigo doesn't really know what's going on. Ichigo doesn't really know what's going on through so much of Bleach. We can blame his father for that. But so he sees spirits, like that's nothing abnormal. He's used to it. Um, but he didn't see the hollows. So I guess like his spiritual energy, that's what they call it. It's like it was like kind of just coming out of him, and it was attracting hollows, and he had no clue. He was like oblivious. And Rukia was tracking down the hollow, but she found Ichigo instead. I think she just sensed his spiritual pressure, and she was thrown off because he could see her. I think his powers were already like developing, and that's part of why he could see her. Um, so yeah. They're like arguing or whatever, and she like ties him up with a spell, and then later he breaks free, and she's like almost there to lose her life, and then he swoops in and she gives him her powers. Like it's supposed to be a little bit, but he took almost all of it, and I think it was mainly to wake up his powers because his powers were asleep. And like, how does he have powers? As like the show goes on, you find out that his dad's a Soul Reaper, so therefore he's a Soul Reaper. Um, but there's much more to him. There's much more to Ichigo, and you get the full story on the continuation. So look out for that. Let's get into the show. So, what I like about the show, I I like that they're going in between worlds, like their world, um, the hollow world, like a mundo, like they're going back and forth a little bit everywhere, and you know, it's it started out as just Ichigo and Rukia, and then more and more people started to join. Orihime, Chad, Uryu, like it became like a close knit group, and I like that. And I like that, there's like, you don't always get along with everybody. There's like bickering here and there. There's just like you're losing it, and just like all these things, like, like true friends. And I love that. I love seeing that come together and all of that. And I love seeing Ichigo prove everybody wrong that thinks, um, you know, that he's not capable, because he shows everybody over and over and over again just how capable he is. And it's like people's pride or whatever don't want them to see it. So it takes a lot for these pompous, arrogant Soul Reapers to accept Ichigo, but he proves himself worthy. And finally, they acknowledge him. And turns out uh, his family, they fell from grace, his dad's family, they used to be nobility. And it's just like maybe that's why he's so powerful, because at one point, Byakuya Kuchiki, I suck at saying his name, he said something about like even with the noble families, it's rare for a child to be able to achieve Bankai. And he did, and obviously so did his father. His father was a former captain. I know lots of spoilers. So, yeah, it's no surprise. And yeah, it's like, his family lineage. It's like his family lineage. It's himself. It's never giving up. It's all of it just mixed in. That's my thought process. So, yeah, there's so much like to like about the show, and like I like different arcs. I love when they go to Wakamundo. I love when they're rescuing Rikia. Like there's so much. Later we'll get into what I dislike because I dislike a specific arc. But yeah, the Wakamundo one is really good. I love when they meet Nell. And her name, her full name, I cannot say now, but like Nellio sounds so pretty because her name is long. If I remember, I'll try to put it up here. Alright. And that's just what I like about the show. I totally forgot to tell you favorite characters. Alright. Let's see. Ichigo. Oh, I can't help it. Like, I love his determination. I love that he cares so deeply about his friends and his family that he'll do everything he can to save and protect them. And despite, the rules, regulations, all that, he's just like, I'm gonna do it. I don't know how, but I'm gonna figure it out and I'm gonna do it. So I love that. I love that he doesn't care or bow down to authority. So let's see. I like Orihime. I do. She's like the sweetest character, and she's like so in love with Ichigo, and she's so down for him, and she'll do anything in her power to make sure she's able to help him. And I love that. I love her dedication to him, and she's just like the sweetest like person you'll ever meet. She's so kind. She has like such a tragic backstory. So yeah, there's so much to Orihime. If you want to know, um, I can't remember. I think because I don't think her parents passed away in an accident. I think they were abusive towards her, and that's how her older brother, got custody of her. But he passed away when she was like a preteen in an accident, and so from then on, she was by herself on her own. Um, yeah, I know she had a part-time job at some point, but I don't know how else she was like paying for everything. It looks like he left money behind that. I can't remember because it's been a while since I watched the beginning. And maybe they just didn't say. But yeah, like her backstory is so tragic. So many anime characters' backstories are so tragic. So I got Ichigo, Orihime, and let's see. A captain is on my favorite list. It's Toshiro Hitsugaya. He's the captain Squad 10, I believe. I believe it's Squad 10. If I messed up, I'll put it the right squad. But I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Um, yeah, he's like super tiny, and it's just like I love, I think he's the youngest captain. I love how determined he is to prove himself. And, even though people try to forget that he's a captain, he'll just like flex that. It's like, excuse me? Like, did you forget who you're talking to? Um, I love that. I love that he's about like being proper and all that. For the most part, like his lieutenant is the one that he gives the most slack to, Rangiku. So there's that. But he's like very kind, um, you know, and like a bit, you know, straight edge, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. His Zanpakuto, which is the sword that they use, is beautiful. It's so beautiful when it's released, both Shikai and Bankai. So Shikai is like the first release, and then Bankai is the big one, the second release, where it's like even more powerful. And most people, it's just their sword that transforms. But some people, it's like their entire outfit. Like that's how it is with Ichigo. That's how it is with Renji. He's got like added stuff to his, so it's different. Let's see. I think those are my three main favorite characters. I'm trying to think if there's anybody else I want to mention. Like, there's so many different characters that I do like a lot. Man, what is her name? I know her name. I know her name. Don't tell me. She transforms into a cat. I'm gonna have to look it up. I know her name. You're like, are you sure you know her name? Yes, I know her name. Dang it, what is it? Her name is. Dang it, I know her name. It's not coming up. There she is. Yorichi. That's why it's hard for me to remember. Yorichi Shihoen. Now, she is amazing. She turns into a cat. I don't really know how because nobody else turns into a cat. Oh, I tried to look it up and I still didn't get answers. So there's that. But she's so powerful and just the way she conducts herself all nonchalant. And yeah, and I love that she became a fugitive to help her best friend, and she was in hiding for 100 years before she finally came out. And even though she wasn't training the whole 100 years, she still held her own and had somebody there. But so there's that. She's amazing, so powerful, so beautiful, and you know, it's just a good role model for women. Just like to be confident, to be proud of who you are. I love that. So yeah, those are my four favorite characters. So let's get into least favorite characters. Oh, let me have to look up his name because he's a captain. I might mess up his name, Mayuri Kurtsuchi. Um, sorry if I mispronounced his name. I don't like him. He's a scientist. He's crazy. He doesn't care really about anything good or bad, just like the experiment. He's supposed to be like a good guy, but really he's like an anti-hero. I don't like him. I don't like just his mentality, like science first, experiment first. And like trying to get people to agree to be his experiments. Like, no, dude, you cannot experiment on my body. Go somewhere. Like, you're out of your mind. Um, and like from what I've seen, it's not even like he asked, but more so it's like he's gonna force you to do it. So yeah, no, I don't like him. I don't like him at all. Let me see if there's anybody else I dislike. Like he's the main one from Bleach that I dislike. So yeah, Mayuri. There he is. Was there anybody I dislike? Mm, there's only one, and it's Ichigo's dad, Ishin Kurosaki. Sorry, I had this guy's my um freaking name stuck in my head. No, Ishin Kurosaki. Yeah, I don't like him. Like he's really goofy and like kind of crazy for his daughters and his son, but I don't like how secretive he is with Ichigo, and then he just refuses to tell him anything until he absolutely has no other choice. That's the only time. This is mine. Um, that's when he'll say something. So yeah, I don't like him. I don't like Ishin. He's just not not a good dad. Like how do you wait until after your dad your son has been through the ringer before you start telling him anything? Like yeah, I just can't with Ichigo's dad. Ishin, like no wonder Uryu's dad doesn't like you. Alright, so those are the two now that we said it. I don't like Uryu's dad either. Let me see if I can find his name because I don't remember. There's Uryu. Let's just like Bleach. Ryukin Ishida. I don't like him. He just seems like he doesn't care about anything other than making money. He doesn't even seem like he cares about his son. He just seems like nothing affects him, nothing bothers him. He just doesn't care. Everything, it's like no emotion. I don't know. It's like a robot. And maybe what you see on the continuation is why he like flipped a switch. But yeah, he just seems like he's very uncaring and unkind, and I don't like him. So those are my least favorite characters. Let's see what I dislike about the show. The Bount arc. Well, I don't know if it's Bount or Bound. I think it's Bount. I don't like that arc. Not one bit. Like, to me, it just seems like there's no point to it. It seems like a filler arc. And filler is just like putting stuff in there to make time for other things that they're working on. They just like they need something right then and there to fill in that gap instead of, having to stop the show. That's what it feels like. Like I don't like it. I don't see a point in it at all. So I don't like it. I don't like the Mount arc. And the only other thing I didn't like about Bleach was um what is it? Oh yeah, the Fullbringer, the last arc. Like, one, it felt really rushed, and two, um, I didn't like when they made Ichigo go crazy. And what I mean by that is there was a person that had this ability where they could manipulate memories, like anybody's memories. So they manipulated themselves into everybody's life and manipulated the situation to where Ichigo was attacking or being hostile to the nicest, sweetest person in the whole world that they love so much. And it's just like he was losing it. Like he didn't know how to like um break break the spell or whatever, like how to get their memories back to where they need to be. So he was very much lost in despair. And then all of a sudden, because he thought his dad was manipulated too, but he wasn't. And I wonder if that's just part of being a captain. Like it's harder to manipulate captains. I don't really know because even though Ichigo's like, I was gonna say, even though Ichigo's like at that level, no, yeah, he is at that level, and he wasn't manipulated. It was everybody else. So it's just like, yeah, I don't know. And also, it seemed like everybody that was manipulated was like fully human or um like not a soul reaper or not showing soul reaper abilities because his youngest siblings weren't quite at his level. One of them not at all, and the other one I think she's seen spirits but she wasn't on his level. So it's like maybe there's something there. I don't really know. Maybe you have to be at the level of a captain if it can still affect soul reapers to not be affected by it. Maybe, I don't know. So yeah. Anyways, when Ichigo was at like the point of despair, that's when Rukia like uh impaled him to like put it nicely. Um and he thought it was his dad, he was losing it, and he's like, it's not me, like look behind you, and it was Rukia. So even though it's against the law and Rukia almost lost her life for it, they agreed to give Ichigo some of his powers to bring his powers back, and it worked. Um, so with his powers back, he wasn't lost in despair anymore, and he kicked butt. So I do like that. But I felt so bad for him. He didn't have any powers. Everybody turned against him. He had no way to make them see reason. And it was just a lot. I felt so horrible for Ichigo. Mm, yeah. Why would I recommend the show to another person? Um, honestly, um, if you like action, if you like adventure, if you like teamwork and like close knit friends, Bleach is for you. If you like seeing like military stuff, they include a lot of that, a lot of like ranking and all of that. So you like that. If you like someone that never gives up and seeing someone progress from like point A all the way, to like just amazing like power, you're gonna want to watch Bleach. Trust me, and you're gonna want to watch continuation. Yeah, you won't be disappointed in either one. They're amazing. So be sure to give me a thumbs up if you like the video, and then catch me in the next one. Bye. Oh yeah, don't forget, watch the video all the way through. I almost forgot. Yay, you made it to the end, so you get a special treat. Now, when I reach 500 subscribers, we're doing our giveaway. And I'm going to have bonus questions. So, the way it works is there's going to be 5 bonus questions. And it goes question number 1, 1 entry, question number 2, 2 entries, question number 3, 3 entries, question number 4, 4 entries, question number 5, 5 extra entries to win. So, you're going to want to write these down. And I'll go ahead and tell you them in order. Why not? So, question number 1, what is my calico cat's name? Her name's Corona. Number 2, how long did my twins spend in the NICU? 100 and 107 days. Yes, I know, a very long time. Question number 3, what are my 3 favorite bands? You might know if you watch my Favorites Fridays, maybe, maybe not. So, and they're not in any order specifically, just like, because I have a hard time ranking them. So, Bowling for Soup, Simple Plan, and Blink 182. I know, same genre. I don't care. Question number 4. At what age did I become a mom? Are you doing the math? You're like, she's this age right now, and her kids are gonna be this age. 19. I became a mom at 19. Last one, number 5. What's my favorite anime? You know, it's not this one. It's not this one. And I've done it before, and it's currently, as I'm filming this, my longest Favorites Friday video. Just barely, but it is. So there's that. Can you guess? Fairy tale. Fairy tale, and you have to spell it right. So if I remember, I'll put it up. If you spell it wrong, you don't get it. So you have to spell it correctly. But don't worry, I'll have it pop up because it's not tail like story, it's tail like a tail, like a cat's tail, a dog's tail. So yeah, fairy tale. Yay! And remember, my giveaway will be after I reach 500 subscribers, and it will be on a Sunday live, so you have to make the live. Now, the time will range anywhere from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So if you're on the East Coast, that's anywhere from like 12 to 2, if I'm doing math correctly, in the afternoon. So there's that. It just depends where you live when it will be. And my Sunday lives are always at the end of the month. So yeah. And don't worry, I'm gonna tell you ahead of time. Most likely during a Friday night live. If I remember to tell you during the video, I will. It's just a lot of times my stuff is pre-recorded ahead of time, so it's like I'm not sure, how that's looking. But yeah. So make sure you wrote the answers down. It's so important, and make sure you're paying attention to my numbers so you know when. I can tell you right now, it won't be May. just because almost all of my videos are recorded already with talking about my giveaway. So I want to change my intro when I do it. So I'm shooting for summertime, June, July. We shall see. Share me out to help me get there. Bye.